Around a year ago, I started releasing a series of car customization tutorials for Assetto Corsa, all done using nothing but notepad. No fancy tools, no black magic. Over time, that turned into multiple videos, and I also posted some of those tutorials on my Patreon for free. A lot of awesome people seem to enjoy that approach. Since then, I've been involved in a few projects with other modders, spending more time revisiting older techniques that often get overlooked. So in this video, I'm sharing another set of customization tricks you can use to tweak your cars without the usual headaches. All right, awesome fellas, let's roll to the lab and start cooking. If you're familiar with my previous tutorial videos, you'll know I've been compiling customization codes that work on pretty much any car using extension config. I call it the base code.
Cooking is art, and the shit I cook is the bomb.
For this video, make sure you grab the latest update of that code, which includes the newest additions used here. You'll find the download link in the video description. We're going to start with the updated pit stop lights code. I've added a few extra blinking patterns into the base code for this one. First, copy any of the pit stop lights sections from the base code and paste it into the car's extension config ini file. Next, open the Object Inspector app, hold Alt, and click on the object you want to turn into an emissive pit light. Once the object name appears in Object Inspector, click it to copy, go back to your config file, and paste that name after the name parameter. To add another object to the first light, simply pick a different object with Object Inspector and place its name in the same name field, separated with a comma. That way, a single light entry can control multiple objects at once. That will be your first light. Repeat the same process for the second light. Use Object Inspector to pick the object, copy its name, and paste it into the second name field. Save the file, and you'll see the changes update live in-game. And that's it for the front blinking pit stop lights. Now it's time to do the same for the rear yellow and red pit stop lights. Just look for any suitable objects at the rear of the car, then place those object names in the name field separated with commas. Same method, different end of the car. The color parameter in the code is made up of 4 values. The first 3 numbers represent the RGB values, and the 4th number controls the intensity. You can change the RGB numbers to create any color you like, and adjust the intensity to control how strong the light appears. Increasing either the RGB values or the intensity will make the light brighter overall. For now, we'll keep these lights in a yellow and red tone. Now that the pit stop lights are working, there's one more step to finish the job. We need to add bounced lights so they actually cast light onto the track and the surrounding area. Go to the base code and copy the bounced pit stop lights section into the car's config. For the bound to field, use the same object name from your first yellow blinking light. Then repeat the same step for the red light. Save the file, and now the emissive lights won't just glow, they'll actually light up the environment. And that covers the basics of using the base code, especially how to assign an object or mesh into the config so you can build on it for future customizations. By now, you've seen that almost any object can be turned into an emissive light, depending on what input you use to trigger it. So let's put that into practice by turning an object inside the cockpit into an RPM indicator. Grab the emissive RPM section from the base code and paste it into the car's extension config. Now pick any object inside the cockpit. For example, I'll use this paddle shifter here. Copy the object name with Object Inspector and paste it into the name field of the emissive RPM section. Next, adjust the input threshold value to whatever RPM point you want the light to trigger. Save the file and give it some throttle to see it come to life. Time for a fresh addition to the Car Immersion Enhancements series. In this section, we're fixing something most people don't even realize is missing: the internal windshield. It's one of those details you rarely notice until it's not there. Without an internal windshield mesh, you won't see proper rain droplets on the inside view, and dirt buildup during a session just won't show up the way it should. The good news is, we can fix that without opening any 3D software. The idea is simple. Duplicate the external glass windshield object using a bit of config work and turn it into a proper internal one. We're going to set this up before launching the game. First, open the base code, copy the internal windshield section, and paste it into the car's extension config. In the mesh split section, enter the front windshield object name in both the meshes and insert to parameters. For the split material parameter, you can use any name you like for the duplicated glass material. For example, use Windshield 1 to keep it unique. Then head to the shader replacement section and use that same name, Windshield 1, in the materials parameter. Last step, copy the texture file I prepared for this internal windshield and place it inside the car's extension folder. After that, enter the texture file name into the resource file 0 parameter, and you're done. For advanced users, you can also use glass texture files taken from other cars in the game. Just make sure the texture has a proper alpha channel and isn't designed for a very specific windshield shape. You can use the file I prepared as a reference so you'll know the kind of glass texture that works best for this setup. Load the game, and the car will now have a proper internal windshield installed. You'll notice the new texture at certain sun angles, and in rainy weather, water droplets will finally render correctly on the glass like they should. The great thing about this mesh split code is that it still works even if the car already has an internal windshield. In that case, it simply adds another internal windshield layer with a different texture. Coming up is a customization for drifters who want their tire smoke to stand out a little more. By default, tire smoke in Assetto Corsa is usually just white. It works, it looks fine, and nobody starts a rebellion over it. But if you're drifting, taking screenshots, or simply enjoying bad decisions, adding some color can make things more interesting. If you check the default tire smoke code, it's fairly simple. Color is controlled by RGB values plus intensity. Unlike the usual RGB system, the values here don't go up to 255 or higher. The maximum is 1, so decimals handle the job nicely. That alone lets you change the smoke color, but we're going one step further. Instead of sticking to one smoke source, we're borrowing the exhaust smoke system and giving it a new job, completely unofficial. Copy the exhaust smoke section from the base code and paste it into the car's extension config. For position, use the normal XYZ coordinates and move it close to the left rear wheel. For direction, set X to 0, Y to 0.3 so the smoke angle is slightly upward, and Z to -1 so it shoots backward like normal smoke should. Then change the color to anything you like, and leave the rest of the values as they are for now. To create smoke for the right rear wheel, copy the whole section and simply change the X value in position to the negative version. Save the file, and now your car has extra tire smoke with its own custom color, because standard smoke is nice, excessive smoke is nicer. On this car, the smoke is already showing even while the car is idle. To fix that, go to the life parameter and lower the first number to anything below 1 or even 0. That will stop the smoke from appearing at idle, so it only shows up when you add throttle. The second number in life controls how long the smoke stays in the air, measured in seconds. For the speed parameter, the first number controls the initial speed when the smoke first appears, while the second number controls its speed after it catches the airflow. In this example, lowering the second value from 3.8 to 0.5 keeps the smoke more concentrated near the source, instead of sending it into orbit. Next, we're giving one of the most useless objects in the cockpit a second chance at life. Something like a nameplate, blank panel, or any flat rectangular surface can be turned into a working GPS or Navigator display. This one here is a perfect candidate. Right now it's just sitting there, looking official, but achieving very little. So let's fix that. Grab the Navigator code from the base code and paste it into the car's extension config. Then place the object name into the meshes parameter. Save the file, and just like that, the Navigator is already assigned to the object. Will it be aligned properly? Probably not. Will we fix it?
You're goddamn right.
Now head to the offset section of the code. You'll see a vec2 value with 2 numbers. Those are your X and Y coordinates. Increase X to move the display to the right, increase Y to move it downward. Now the key thing to understand is this. Offset controls position, size controls coverage. You're basically telling the screen where to start drawing and how much space to fill. If the offset is correct, but the size is too large,
That's what she said.
the screen will spill outside the object. If the size looks right, but the offset is wrong, the screen will be misplaced. So these two values always work together. A simple way to tune it is to start with offset at 0 and size at 1, which fills the whole UV space and gives you a clean starting point. Then adjust the size until it fits the panel properly. And after that, fine-tune the offset until everything lines up nicely. Much easier than typing random numbers like a lottery ticket. After a bit of tweaking, you can make it look like the screen belonged there from day one. I've also made a full guide on my Patreon that covers everything in more detail, including alignment, sizing, styling options, and extra tweaks for the Navigator setup. So if you want the complete version without me turning this video into a feature-length documentary, check it out there. Coming up is adding a rear rain light to a car. Grab the rain light code from the base code and paste it into the car's extension config. Then place your chosen object name into the meshes parameter. After that, adjust the color values to any shade you like, and tweak the blinking settings to match the style you want. If you increase the blink hertz value, the light will flash faster. Handy when subtle just isn't enough. Save the file, switch the weather to rain, and you'll see the light blinking away at the rear. Now for the cheeky part. What if I told you, this isn't actually using a rain sensor. The code is really a wiper light indicator, which means it activates when the wipers are turned on. That's because the emissive system doesn't have a direct rain input to detect incoming rain as a trigger, so we improvised, respectfully. To make it turn on automatically when it rains, go to WeatherFX CSP settings and make sure turn wipers on and off automatically is enabled. And just like that, you've got a rain light powered by Windshield logic. Alright, awesome fellas, we've reached the end of part 4 of the Car Immersion Enhancement tutorial. There's more modding and customization content on my Patreon, updated regularly and free for everyone. Big thanks as always to the Patreon supporters for helping keep the wheels turning. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more Assetto Corsa goodness. I'm Faye signing off. Keep your car sharp, your config clean, and as always, stay awesome.